Turn your face up.
Please careful, there's so much water here. Careful. For the majesty.
He said.
Exercise, I can see.
He said.
May you live long.
He said.
May your kingdom prosper.
He said.
May all subjects prosper.
He said.
In Jesus' name.
He said. He said. Yeah, almost. Wait. Yeah. Good.
So, how are you? I'm fine.
Father, we thank you for the culmination of this program back in the last 2 days. Thank you for your presence, for your blessings. I pray that this will also be for the blessing of your people. And glory to your name. We pray in Jesus' name.
Camera.
rotate that table and get them
Welcome. Without further ado, we would like to please ask all our guests in the building to please rise for the Nigerian national anthem. Next.
Nigeria, so àfọ̀másìn olúromi ìbà bókè ara lóore olóríire àfọ̀másìn olúromi ìbà bókè ìràwọ̀ bàgbà mi jẹ́ mo rí gbà jíwẹ́rẹ́ ìràwọ̀ tí gbà mí jẹ́ mo rí gbàrà kúrò ìyàrá lóríire olóríire àfọ̀másìn olúromi ìbà bókè ìyàrá lóríire olóríire àfọ̀másìn olúromi àwa bókè ìràwọ̀ bàgbà mi jẹ́ mo rí gbà jíwẹ́rẹ́ ìràwọ̀ èsì gbà mí jẹ́ mo rí gbàrà kúrò ìyàrá lóríire olóríire àfọ̀másìn olúromi àwa bókè òkè àmẹ́ so ìjọba kò sọ́nà.
can be better, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's... Moji?
Good evening, Your Royal Majesties and highly distinguished Africans in the room. It is my absolute delight to very specially and warmly welcome you to this grand and regal event, the King's Banquet, organized by Elevate Africa and of course graciously hosted by the 21st Olu of Warri, His Royal Majesty the Third, CFR, and Olori Atuwashe the Third. Please give them a resounding round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Mojibade Shosoya. Mojibade from the southwestern part of Nigeria. And Mojibade means I woke up into royalty. So you can imagine that it is indeed my absolute delight and my honor to serve as one of your compeers this evening, standing before you very distinguished royalties. Not only that, I'm working alongside this distinguished royalty looking dapper in black. Hi, how are you?
Thank you very much. You didn't tell them my name though. My name is
I wanted you to say it with all confidence.
Oh yeah?
Yes, and own it.
Well, they know me already, so...
It's okay, but you please introduce yourself. Tell us the meaning of your name.
Yes. My name is Bobby. Don't worry about the meaning for now.
No, you have to tell us, Bobby. Own it. Tell us the meaning of your name.
For this evening, my name means I'm working with royalty.
I love it. That's what it means. We'll take that.
Oh, really?
But yes.
Okay. For this evening only.
And that's fine.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it promises to be a very interesting evening. I'm sure most of us have been a part of the sessions from yesterday and today. This is a befitting climax to everything that has been discussed, ideas that have been propounded, and suggestions for the future of a great Africa. Without further ado, we would like to say, let us start this event by committing it into the hands of God Almighty, offering the opening prayers. Chief Mene Brown, please.
Please give a resounding applause as he makes his way to the stage.
Thank you. Silence. Thank you.
May we rise as we pray.
If I should again, I'm the head of...
Us to till the ground, the garden, and dress it and keep it holds true with your blessing. There is therefore the time for laboring, as we have done in these last 2 days, thinking about how to improve the lot you have given to us as Africans. Thank you for the resolutions we have reached, the challenges we have received. It is now time for us to unwind in your presence and to cherish the good you have given to us. May it be with your blessing. We pray, Father, that as we leave here later tonight, we'll get to our respective destinations safely. And the lessons we have been challenged with, we'll go back to our respective places and put it to use so that Africa may be blessed. Africa may be elevated, and all our countries within Africa will raise the banner you have given to us, and it will be well with us. You will be glorified yet the more, because we pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
And blessed. Amen.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, according to this evening's program, we're going to take several goodwill messages. I want to believe everybody who has a goodwill message is in the building. We will move around at some point to ensure and take messages from each and every one of us here. Those of us who would...
No better to set the ball rolling as we take goodwill messages than the Omukama of Toro Kingdom, Oyo Nyiba Kabama Iguru Rukidi IV from Uganda. Can we please make His Royal Majesty welcome today as we take his goodwill message this evening. Majesty, for being a part of this occasion, thank you for coming all the way from the Pearl of Africa to visit us here in the Giant of Africa.
Our applause are ending too quick. Can we let it roll till it gets on the stage? Thank you, sir.
His Royal Majesty, the King Ogiame Atwatse III, Her Royal Majesty, Queen Olori Atwatse III, host and founders of Elevate Africa, and conveners of this first global convening, themed The Africa We See. Distinguished dignitaries, nationally and internationally, specially invited guests, our celebrated African media practitioners, ladies and gentlemen. I am exceptionally honored to be a special guest and keynote speaker at the inauguration of this auspicious and historic event, which seeks to bring all stakeholders of each nation on the continent of Africa together to both evaluate our perception and narrative of the Africa we see. Oftentimes, it is very hard to see our potential as we are going through growing pains. Pains which are deemed necessary for our evolution, yet excruciatingly uncomfortable to bear, especially if time is seemingly slipping away without the tangible results of growth. From my perspective as a leader here in Africa, and having been in this position for the past 29 years, my discernment has been heightened to realize that we Africans have lost touch of our relevance to the rest of the globe. Unfortunately, the Eurocentric education entrusted upon our individual nations has in many ways nullified our genius capabilities. The eradication of our historical relevance has also given away to the leading of Western cultures, infiltrating our landscape and orchestrating a change in the ideologies and perspectives which once brought Europe here to learn from us. We have relentlessly eradicated in one way or another all those who taught us to be critical thinkers and to be the firm craftsmen of our fate in exchange for political dominance and the desensitization of our inherent skills and natural giftings to have our masses seeking handouts and opportunities only garnered at the hands of the political class. This practice has also infiltrated our media houses and in many cases has caused a deficit in objectivity. History has divided us through the impregnation of boundary lines and a plethora of colonial masters across a potpourri of languages and cultures foreign to our own, though we have way too many languages here on the continent. We have since emerged to be a divided Africa, with each country serving the needs of the colonial pipers who played the tune for our dancing. This has left many a nation demoralized and without cause for rallying the best of its populace to the cause of sustainable development at a national level. While the aforementioned has since shifted in perspective, many of our nations have exchanged the albatross of satellite management by the colonial masters for heavy burdens of debt that are seemingly impossible to repay. Therefore, hemorrhaging the emerging economies of small developing states under austere debt management protocols that are at times more stringent than the COVID-19 protocols observed in the not too distant past. Our young and impressionable Africans has grown to experience a political class that have become far removed from their needs and aspirations, barricaded by security and protocols that were never in effect when they were seeking to be empowered by the very persons that they have since set aside for their 5-year term of self-preservation. It is our full responsibility to restore the spirit of self-confidence back into our youth through full engagement of their skill sets and nourishment of their faith in God as the supreme author of our faith. Our spiritual revival is needed in order to kindle their inner potential and remove from the veil that promotes alternative ideologies and concepts foreign to our African culture and norms. We must work audaciously to improve the standards of our entertainment industry and therein promote positive entertainers that will work alongside elders and leaders that are focused on youth development and people empowerment. This global convening, which is very fortuitous, speaks specifically to the Africa that we see. However, I see an Africa that the world will recognize in our not too distant future as a social and economic superstructure, re-engineered and developed to run on its own resources, both human and financial. I thank you all. May God bless you.
All right. Well, you know, I hope you people are aware. Everything serious ended earlier today, right? This is the after party, for the lack of a better description. So I want us to relax, let our head down, don't take it too serious. We're going to have fun this evening.
Bobby, excuse me, I'm serious. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're serious?
Yes.
I was jealous when I was watching the sessions today. I was like, I could have done this as well. But this is the one they brought me for. I said, well, okay, I will manage. I like it. This is what I do for a living. But the beautiful thing is, I believe in Africa.
I believe in Africa also.
How well do you know Africa?
Very well. I love being African.
What's the capital of our speaker's country? His Royal Majesty that just left the stage. Uganda.
Entebbe?
No, Entebbe. You see?
I know. I was in Uganda last month.
Just last month?
Yes.
I ain't never been, but I know.
Tell me.
Actually, I've been twice.
Tell me.
It's Kampala.
Kampala, my bad. Kampala.
Your Majesty, am I right? You see? Right. So you see?
You're right.
Who is now the serious one?
Bobby is a lie. You plan to do this ahead of time.
No, I didn't plan.
It's okay.
But you can ask me.
It's okay. I should ask you.
Yes.
Okay.
Ask me.
Should I ask him, put him on the spot? Give me one African country that you don't think he'll know. Please help me. Tell me. Mauritius.
Senegal. Did you say Senegal?
No, Mauritius.
Senegal is Dakar.
What's it? No, Bobby. No. My
Senegal
people
is
here.
Dakar.
No, I have my delegates to the right. They have asked for the capital of Mauritius.
Listen, the capital of Mauritius is the seat of government.
You're a wise man.
It's a beautiful island.
Tell me about it.
Beautiful island, right? I mean, we can go on and on tonight, but the important thing is that we would like to be, first off, we would like to be the permanent host every year.
No, we have. They've signed it.
They signed
the agreement.
They signed yours.
Over there, yes. Your Royal Majesties, thank you for signing the contract. We love the signing, but we're just hoping that they'll sign it tonight. But before we go on, I think I just scanned through the room and everyone looks absolutely amazing. Everyone. So please just do me a favor. Tell your neighbor how gorgeous and how stunning and how dapper they look. I'll lead by example by telling Bobby, you look absolutely smashing. Make sure your neighbor is complimenting you. They're not. I'll come there and give them the microphone and they have to say something nice about you into the microphone. But Bobby, you look absolutely amazing.
I said I know.
You know, that's right. But it's okay, it's good to know. But I love it. I totally love it.
Well, like you said, you
Bobby,
look
you won't
royal.
tell me.
Oh, you look royal.
Thank
you. You look regal.
Thank you.
Olori Atiwashe the third is what you hope to be.
Yes.
Yes.
It's okay. I'll take
She's single.
She's
single. You're single, right?
I'm single.
Oh, you're engaged?
I'm single, but we're talking about Olori Atiwashe.
No, I said what she is now is what you will become.
Okay. And when you say the she, who is the she that is single?
I never said she's single.
Okay, just checking.
Make her just use pidgin English. I never said that. No, I didn't. There's one thing that makes tonight very beautiful though. And Tenny pointed it out earlier when she was talking of His Royal Majesty the Olu of Warri. She described him as swag, a choke. And you can see, ladies and gentlemen, but that doesn't apply to just him. All the royal fathers in the room, they have swag. Allow me to recognize his presence. Ladies and gentlemen, King Kiagbo Rekuzi Benjamin, Ikenechukwu, the DEIN of Agbor Kingdom in Delta State, is in the building. You're welcome, Your Majesty. You know what's beautiful? Our Royal Majesty from Uganda was crowned at the age of 3. Am I right, sir? In 1995. The internet describes you as the one with that record, as the youngest king ever crowned. But don't be offended. I make bold to correct the internet, not you. The youngest king ever crowned is the one sitting in front of you, the DEIN of Agbor. He was crowned at the age of 2 in 1979. You know, he wasn't even aware.
Anytime Bobby starts his segment by saying don't be offended, just know what's about to come.
No.
Bobby.
Your Majesty, did I lie? Were you not crowned by 2?
And a half.
I know you're not aware, but
2 years and 4 months.
2 years
And 4 months.
2 years and 4 months.
There's an extra 4 months above the 2 years.
Yes. You know, at the age of 2, he was just doing papa, papa, papa. At 4 months, he's doing papa, poo, papa, poo. There's a difference. So yes, these 2 gentlemen became kings at a very young age. Even our Olu of Warri was pretty much a very young man when he became king. The difference between him and the other 2 is that he was aware. Our Ugandan king wasn't aware. The DEIN of Agbor wasn't aware. You know, Your Majesty's DEIN of Agbor, I know your story because you were crowned the year I was born. So you can imagine for a young child like me at the age of 3 in like 1982, my mom will always scream at me and say, it's your mate that is king in Agbor. But it stopped one day when I told her it's your mate that gave birth to the king in Agbor.
You just had to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like we said, promises to be a very interesting evening. We understand dinner is served.
Speeches,
yes.
More entertainment.
More entertainment.
But Bobby, let's talk about, you know, I mean, we're not doing a lot of speeches, but what stood out for you the most in the past 2 days, listening to all of our distinguished speakers from different parts of Africa?
The positivity, the dream, the vision. Many of us have had this, you know, in our minds. But bringing everybody together is what made it very beautiful. Thanks to His Royal Majesty, the Olu of Warri and Olori Atuashe III. Since you heard the speeches and all, I was watching online and I was like, indeed, we have a bright future. Let me see. I even made notes here. The Olu of Warri said, Africa is a source, an inspiration, a destination, an idea, different people, and it summarizes everything because we are of different color. No, our color is.
It was Vusi that said we may be different, but we are all the same. And I think that stuck with me because we must begin to see ourselves as one Africa. And reminds me of Martin Luther King Jr.'s statement where he said that we may all have come from different ships, but we are now on one boat. See ourselves first as Africans. You know, when you go out of the continent and people say, oh, you're from Africa, sometimes we get offended because we're like, well, they're different parts of Africa. But truly, when you look at it, we are Africans and we must carry that flag very boldly such that Africa is indeed elevated and we can see the Africa that indeed we want to see. I'm excited to be African.
Right. Just don't forget the capital of Uganda again.
Bobby, please go backstage.
All right. Let's roll with the program.
Sure, next.
Okay, we're supposed to have the honors and awards now, but I believe that has been shifted to the back burner. Are we ready for that now? Who are you?
I'm an African.
You're an African. Oh, nice escape.
Good,
I know. Thank you.
Can we change?
Thank you.
Don't worry.
We'll talk about that backstage. All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Your Majesties, Your Excellencies. We're so proud to have great Africans in this room. And tonight, we'll be proud to announce some awards of our global ambassadors. And these are people who are going to be shaping the core values of Elevate Africa. may I have the honor to invite His Royal Majesty to hand over the first 3 sets of awards. And the first Global Ambassador I'm going to announce will be Professor Paul Morrison. Can we just give him a round of applause? Professor Morrison is a board member of the University of West of Scotland and is also the head of education for Zoom United Kingdom.
Now please, can we have a slide?
Olori of Wari, Excellencies, Captains of Industries, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to observe the already established protocols. I'm here to motivate the Africans and to tell them that there is hope for Africa as well as for the Africans and the children of Africa. And this poem is titled, Yes You Can. Have you ever felt like there is something that you cannot do? Where you start a conversation with something like, I can't do it. I'm too young to see beyond. No, I can't do it. I'm too old for a future to hold. No, I can't do it. I am slow. It will take forever to glow. No, I can't do it. I'm short. Climbing onto the wall will lead to a drastic fall. No, I can't do it. My past isn't a good cast. They all said as I listened with keen ears, different views pointing to one major point, the fear of failure, discovering something new as it could be a mania, a sense of growth to a new idea. But have you heard of King Na, a 12-year-old motivational speaker, giving life to young souls? You can call him a keeper. Have you heard of Heartland Sanders? Had every right to give up because of so much blunders. At 88, he made it. Through the freedom to fail, he nailed it. His dead at sight, but not in the taste buds, because the KFC you crave, he created. So where is the question of age? For our whatever age, there are people searching for inspiration, and that can just be you. Have you heard of our very own late Laboyari? To zauna ka ji labari, danga ilimi ya zama ƙari, da shi aka yaƙi jahilci na fari, inspiration ga masu neman ilimi babban jari, call him tauraron taurari. Several years working in areas, through patience and diligence, he that man of conviction. Walking slow shouldn't make your confidence low, for life is an endless struggle. Just don't stop the hustle. Don't fear the fall, fear staying on the ground. But no matter how many times you fall, never call the ground home. People talk about the future, but fail to realize we're living in the future that becomes past with every second that passes by. And if you do not grab the reins today and make the change, then indeed you're wasting the future.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You know, there are two main things that fascinate me, Bobby. There are two main things, major things that fascinate me. The first is watching airplanes take off and land. Okay. The second is listening to very talented spoken word artists, very electrifying ones, deliver poetry off the top of their head with so much passion. I think it's very laudable, and it's a talent that I cannot but celebrate. So one more time, can we please celebrate our talented spoken word artists today? Thank you.
While she was speaking, ladies and gentlemen, we spotted someone very important, someone who has been a major source of inspiration and encouragement to the entertainment industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking of none other than former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Patience Jonathan, aka Mama P.
Good evening, ma'am. We're truly honored to have you here today.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to set the ball rolling without wasting any more time and call on the first person on our program. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about him already. His Royal Majesty, King Kiagbo-Rekuzi Benjamin Ikenechukwu, the DEIN of Agbor Kingdom in Delta State. Please stage to give his goodwill messages.
Your Royal Majesty, thank you for being a part of this occasion tonight. We're truly honored by your presence. Thank you.
My dear brother, the Olu of warriors, I like to say, the king of the waters. My dear brother, King Toro, I think I heard a very beautiful phrase for you. Is it the mountains of the moon? Somewhere that I would love to see one of these days. Your Majesty, all of you that are here tonight, elevate Africa is what we're talking about. As I look upon all of you, I see the elevation. I see the promise. I see the hope. We need to come together as a continent, as a people. I don't think I see many venues that you would see so much beauty, so much culture. And Your Majesty, I'd like to thank you for bringing all of this together. As we continue to move into the future, we continue to have opportunities, because honestly, I believe that opportunities are constantly there. They don't come once in a lifetime. Opportunities must be grabbed. Your Majesty, King of Torum, you have presented us with an opportunity to reach across borders, an opportunity to make new friends. I have certainly made a new friend today, and I will cherish you immensely. So once again, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. As you leave here today, please continue to keep the contacts that you've made. My dear Senator Ned Nwoko, thank you for being an inspiration also, and thank you for being a man of unity. My Chief of Defense Staff, thank you for keeping us safe. I know it's not an easy job, but we're with you. God will bless you. And my wonderful comedian and most beautiful lady here, thank you very, very much for the good work you're doing. May God bless us all. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Your Royal Majesty, the DEIN of Agbor. All right, Your Royal Majesties, very distinguished Africans, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of the King's Banquet tonight. Now, yesterday and today we've had food for thought, especially as it concerns the future of Africa that we want to see. Now it's time for food for our bellies. Please enjoy dinner as we leave you in the capable hands of our band, and we'll be right back for more entertainment tonight. The band.
He sit down for house, he dey think of war. Mr. Landlord come wake am up, he say Mr. Pip.
So, Olufolake Abdulrazak. Thank you, man. He's in the building. Actually, when the DEIN of Agbor was speaking, that was when we actually noticed. Perfect gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, for his remarks and goodwill messages. Please let's welcome, like I said, the Chief of General Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, General Gwabin Musa. A round of applause, please. Thank you, sir.
If you notice, I'm somehow not too comfortable wearing this parachute. I'm used to wearing camo all the time. Please, Your Royal Highness, Your Majesty, the Olu of Warri, Ogami Otuase III, and his beautiful, beautiful wife, Your Majesty, DEIN of Agbor, other Royal Majesties, our Excellencies that are here, distinguished senators, former First Ladies, please permit me to stand on the already established protocols. It is my honor to give my goodwill message today at the inaugural Elevate African Global Convening Kings Banquet, where we celebrate the strides made by Africans in advancing sustainable development and shaping global perception across Africa and beyond. Let me first appreciate and congratulate His Royal Majesty, the 21st Olu of Warri, Ogami Otuase III, CFR, and Her Royal Majesty, the Queen Consort Olori Otuase III, for initiating such a noble event and for extending an invitation to I and my lovely wife. As the Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria, I'm proud to stand before you and acknowledge the significant progress that our continent has made in recent years. From economic growth to technological advancements, Africans have been at the forefront of driving positive change and innovation. Our commitment to sustainable development is evident in the various initiatives and programs that have been implemented to address key challenges such as poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. Through collaborative efforts and partnerships, we have been able to create a more inclusive and equitable society for all. Furthermore, African countries have played a crucial role in shaping the global perception of our continent. We have demonstrated resilience, creativity, and resourcefulness on the world stage, challenging stereotypes and showcasing the diverse talents and capabilities that exist within Africa. Indeed, elevate Africa. As Africans, nobody should speak for us, nobody can speak for us. We must speak for ourselves wherever we are, and we must stand strong and bold. We refuse to be intimidated by anyone because we are Africans, the cradle of civilization. Continue working together towards a shared vision of prosperity and peace. I have the privilege of traveling all over Africa, most African countries, and I bet you, if you close your eyes and appear in any, you will believe you are home, because we are just the same. Maybe there are boundaries, there are borders, but we think alike, we walk alike, we talk alike, we act alike. And it's important that we embrace ourselves. Travel other Africans and you get to other borders and you see how hostile we are to each other. It is one thing that actually pains me greatly. We must learn to respect and appreciate each other. We know more of Europe and other places. We know the histories of the world, but we don't know of Africa. And I think that is what we need to break. Africans will have to travel, should be able to travel across countries and be received as families, family members together. That is the only way we can grow. We do businesses with others, we don't do businesses across ourselves. And I think we need to break those barriers. By harnessing our collective strengths and leveraging our unique perspectives, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way and build a brighter future for generations to come. In closing, let me reaffirm the commitment of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to advancing sustainable development and shaping the global perception of Africa. Together, we have the power to create positive change and leave a lasting impact on the world. Once again, my deepest appreciation goes to His Royal High Majesty, Ogami Otuase III, and esteemed leaders of the Warri Kingdom, for gathering these eminent personalities here in the federal capital, Abuja. Thank you and God bless you all.
Let's let the applause roll. Thank you very much, General Gwabi Musa. You better start getting used to your parachute because you sound like a politician. You will make a good politician.
Indeed, indeed. Your Royal Majesties, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to bring up on stage for another goodwill message, one of the most famous politicians in Nigeria. I'm talking about none other than distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much for your presence here tonight. We're truly honored that you have graced this occasion. Thank you. Please let's sustain the applause till he gets off stage. Distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko, thank you for being a part of this conversation as we speak to the Africa that we truly want to see. Thank you. After that, we have entertainment for you, our distinguished guests. And of course, we'll take more goodwill messages before we wrap up this.
The Olu of Wari and beautiful sister and daughter, your wife, the DEIN of Agbor, my very good friend, our brother from Uganda, I salute you, the Chief of Defense Staff, I welcome you, our former First Lady, Sister Patience, you're welcome. I greet everybody. I greet everybody. Let me start by thanking the Olu of Wari for this initiative. This is something that is very close to my heart. Africa. Africa is Europeans many years ago. I'm sure you know how they partitioned Africa alongside economic interest. And we have remained so, regardless of the fact that Africa has so much to offer itself. There are no natural resources that you can find anywhere else in the world that we do not have in Africa. None. But we have remained perpetually poor. Why is it so? Simply, look, I know I've been told I have only 5 minutes, so I'm going to tell you what I think that we should do in Africa. I'll just go straight to the solutions instead of crying about the problems. The solutions. Number one solution for me is that we must lower the barriers in Africa. All the borders must be free for movement of Africans across Africa. Number two, we must learn to develop some technologies that will enable us to refine, to manufacture. We cannot, at this day and age, expect all our raw materials to be exported to Europe and America, where they are processed and then sent back to us at a huge cost. So we must learn how to produce, refine, and manufacture our raw materials. We have everything. We have everything. In other words, I look forward to an Africa where there is a prohibition of the importation of foreign goods. When I mean foreign, that's outside Africa. If we have the ability to manufacture everything that we need, I can assure you that jobs will be created here. A lot of value will be added to those raw materials. We don't need to import anything. All we need is the third item, which is intertrade between countries in Africa. I don't know how many or how much trade we have between Nigeria and Uganda, or between Nigeria and Morocco, or between Kenya and Ghana. We rather trade, just as the Chief of Defense Staff said. We rather trade with other countries in Africa, but we have to focus on inter-African trade. That is so important. Then the next number 5, I think, is culture. Our cultures are so enduring. All we need to do is to appreciate our culture, be proud of our culture. The traditional institutions, our African clothes, our food, our music, they're all part of the African heritage that we must appreciate. Then, of course, the more contentious issue is this. We need to have an African currency, African money, that will enable us to trade amongst ourselves. We don't need dollar, believe me. We can currency that will enable us to trade amongst ourselves. So if you have an Afro, for example, like in Europe they have Euro, as you know. So wherever you are in Europe, you just have Euro. You move around. You don't even know when you cross borders because you have that single currency. So we need that in Africa. And of course, we need an African language. You know, we have watched the partitioners introduce English, introduce French, introduce German, introduce Italian. But we have many, many people that speak different languages in Africa. Swahili is a beautiful language. Many people speak Swahili in Africa. Hausa is a beautiful language. Many people speak Hausa beyond Nigeria. We have Arabic language spoken in Northern Africa. Many people speak Arabic language. We have Yoruba spoken across West Africa. But you see, all this will require political leadership to put in place. That's what we need. We just need a very strong political leadership that will put Africa first, put our people first. It is not about Europe, it's not about UK or America. We must have leaders who are benevolent, who will say, look, I want to work for Africa. I want to create a new Africa. And these are some of the things I feel that we should work towards in achieving Africa. So, Oluofori, I thank you for this opportunity. This is the first time I've been early to an event. I was almost an hour early. So I had time to speak with people outside. And I was surprised to see so many people from America, from Ghana, and other countries. So we need more of this kind of engaging events. So I thank you. But next time, I want to be involved in the planning so that I can also lend my support. I thank you all. I thank you all. Thank you.
This cause, but also lending your support. So we're looking forward to seeing you next year at the second global convening as you're a part of the committee. We will consider making you the chairperson of the committee, of the planning committee. One more time, give me a resounding round of applause, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, distinguished senator.
Thank you one more time, distinguished senator. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a quick musical break because we're saving one of the most important Goodwill messages for the next 5 minutes later. Ma'am, please bear with us. Mama, peace. I know she's in the building somewhere. Can we please put her hands
Please let us celebrate the Honorable Minister for State, Labor and Employment for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us at this King's Banquet today. Thank you.
Please let's not be tired when we ask us to put our hands together. Especially because the next person I want to recognize her presence here is someone I never seized the opportunity to celebrate her, because when we talk about Nollywood, when we talk about African film, she's one of the most iconic faces ever to grace our screens. Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together for the ageless Hilda Dokubo. Look at her. We love you, Mama.
Thank you so much for joining Majesties. It is our pleasure to yield the stage to Esther Benyogo and the Royal Iwere Choir. Give them a resounding applause as they present Africa Awake. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's now your time to shine. Do not hold it back anymore. Africa, arise. No holding back anymore. The Lord has called you to stand tall. For the Lord has made you to be strong. Hey, Africa. Oh. Let them see you. Awake, Africa. Awake, Africa. Let them see you. Let them know that it's your time to shine. Your time is now. Your time is now. It's your time to shine. Hold the candle, stand up and shine bright every day. Be strong. Let them see you.
Jesus, the big man. Jesus, the big man. Unano man, Konasumoma. Unano man, Konasumoma. Jesus, the big man. Jesus, the big man. Unano man, Konasumoma. Unano man, Konasumoma.
Please, talented choir. Thank you very much, Esther Benyogo and the Ikwere Choir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together again one more time for them. That was a powerful performance. I'm sure you will all agree. Messages, so please don't be in a hurry to leave. I'm sure you are aware there was also something, a fashion competition of sorts. And tonight, our judges will grace the stage to celebrate our winners for that. Right, Moji?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, these designers were able to put together sketches that represent the future of Africa. And we'll be bringing up our judges very shortly, who will speak to this competition and, of course, present the winners their awards.
Absolutely. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, we have managed to keep her till this time. To continue with the goodwill messages this evening, please let's welcome former First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan, aka Mama Peace.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for indeed being patient with us and being a part of this conversation. We look forward to hearing you lend your voice to the discourse for this year's global convening, the Africa We See. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, can we please give a round of applause as we welcome on stage the former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan. Sustain the applause till she gets here. Your Excellency, we're truly honored that you're here. You look absolutely amazing.
Your Excellency, the wife of the Governor of Kwara State, my dear sister, thank you for coming. And former Governor's wife here present. Permit me to specially recognize the Chief of Defense Staff and his amiable wife, my dear sister. You're quite welcome. And members of National Assembly, both the senators, the former and the present. I can especially see Senator Ned Woke and his amiable wife here. Thank you for coming. And members of House of Representatives that are also here with us. Permit me to specially recognize ministers of the Federal Executive Council. We can see the Minister of Labor, that's Nkiru, she's here with us, and former ministers that has come to grace this wonderful occasion that is also here. And permit me to also recognize our father, His Royal Majesty, the Olofwori Ogame Atuwashi, the third CFR. You are quite, thank you for inviting us for this wonderful occasion. And our mother, our beautiful mother, Her Royal Majesty herself, Atuwashu, the third. Thank you for inviting all of us here present. And His Royal Majesty, the King of Agbor, King Benjamin, thank you for coming. I always admire you whenever I see you with His Majesty, your love worry. Anywhere he is, you are always with him. Thank you for coming. Thank you. And His Royal Majesty, the King of Uganda, all the way from Uganda, thank you for coming to grace this wonderful occasion. One day we will also be in Kampala to grace your own occasion too. Thank you for coming. Permit me to also recognize other Royal Majesties that are here, that I can't remember their names. Permit me to also recognize House of Parliament that is here. Other parliamentarians you are quite recognized, both former and present. Permit me to recognize my beautiful constituency, the women constituency. Thank you for all the women to come and grace this wonderful occasion. And the next speaker that is here, members of the press, you are not left out, especially the man and the gentleman that hand over the mic to me. You have done wonderful since we came in here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting all of us here today. I will first of all say good evening to every one of you that are here today. It is my pleasure to be in the midst of the world leaders and renowned men and women of Africa and other continents at this Ghana night. So much discussion and perspective were articulated at yesterday's opening section of the Mid-Elevate Africa Global Conveying Power Room discussion. The theme, the Africa we see, with focus on strategies, partnerships, empowering indigenous solutions, promoting positive and empowering narrative about Africa is quite apt. This is because Africa is blessed with professionals and talented people who has great potentials. These potentials, therefore, need to be harnessed to create opportunity for growth and development of regions. The public partnership, which is key to African development, is one of the initiatives that has impacted the power, education, and transportation sector of this great country. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, with Africa rich in human and natural resources, the African we see can become a wonder to the world. It is my view that a well-articulated and designed framework, if put in place, will help stabilize our economy, create jobs, alleviate poverty, and improve social support systems. Unfortunately, for many decades now, our continent has been branded the continent of conflicts and internal trap wars. We all know, however, that without peace, there can be no sustainable developments. Therefore, we need to synthesize our people to embrace peace and focus on issues that unite rather than divide us. This sensitization should begin from the grassroots. Already, our brother, the senator, already mentioned it, Senator Nate Wonke, when he was speaking. In addition, African countries must develop their own action plans to identify, evaluate, and control efforts to achieve the objectives of women, peace, and security in line with the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325. We need a united voice to promote Africa. The time to tell our story is now, and it is already beginning with Elevate Africa. Before I take my leave, I must not fail to thank the conveners, especially His Royal Majesty Ogame Atewashu III, CFR, and Her Royal Majesty Olori Atewashu for their wonderful resourcefulness in organizing this program. I will say thank you for gathering all Africa together to come together and be together and unite together and speak one voice. Thank you so much. And I thank you for listening. May God bless us all as we go back home. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Patience, Jonathan. I think the applause indeed represents how everyone is feeling. We're truly excited that you're here and that you're being a part of this conversation in 2024. We'll never forget. Thank you. Thank you very much for your insights and your contributions to this discourse. Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
All right. Powerful one right there from former First Lady.
All right, thank you very much again, Your Excellency. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We do not in any way take you for granted. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you to you, our distinguished audience, for the honor that you have accorded her tonight. Thank you very much. One more time, a round of applause for her as she returns to her seat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, DEIN, Patience, Jonathan. All right, Your Royal Majesties, very distinguished guests, we're moving on very quickly to a special part of this occasion, and we'll be speaking to Threads of Africa. Now, what we talked about before, right, is that Threads of Africa is a subsidiary of Elevate Africa, and this was a fashion competition that took place, and we will be presenting gifts and, of course, prizes, who will speak further about what this competition was about and the beautiful sketches and designs that our lovely participants and of course everyone who took part in the competition designed, especially as spoke to the future of Africa and the Africa that we all want to see. At this point, we'll be bringing up our judges who will come up stage and do the honors of not just speaking to it but also presenting the awards to all the winners tonight. We'll start by bringing up Her Royal Majesty Olori Atuwase III, the beautiful, the excellent, the phenomenal Olori Atuwase III. Please give her a resounding lusty, looking as elegant as always.
All right. And in quick succession, ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome our judges as they join her on stage. Let the applause roll as we welcome Ugo Moye, one of Africa's most famous designers. Ugo Moye, please make your way to the stage. Keep the applause rolling as we welcome Busingye Masiko Anden. I hope I got that right. Yes.
Please make welcome Banke Kuku. A round of applause for Banke Kuku as she joins the judges on stage.
And of course, Sandra Tuboreni. A round of applause for Tubo. All right, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. What a wonderful 2 days it has been, right? Yeah, we could give it up for Africa. The conversation has been rich. The solutions have been potent and practical. It's been wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining us in these conversations. Before I begin, I would like to specially recognize the presence of my mommy. I call her my mommy. When I told her that she had to be here tonight, she said, "My love, anything for you." Thank you, mommy. I love you so much. Mommy Peace, you are wonderful. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much. I'd like to recognize the presence of Her Excellency, the First Lady of Kwara State, a mommy and an auntie to me now as well. We've just bonded so much over the last few days. Ambassador Professor Olufolake Abdul-Razak, thank you so much. I'd like to recognize the presence of former First Ladies that are here, our royal fathers. I must make mention of my favorite, I'm so sorry if I'm biased, sirs, His Majesty Ogiame Atu Ashe III, CFR, the Olu of Warri, my king, my absolute best friend. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the kingdom, but also for the country and for the continent. Thank you for who you are, what you represent. We absolutely are honored and are blessed to be your people. God bless you, sir. I'd like to recognize the presence of His Majesty, the DEIN of Agbor. We appreciate your friendship. We appreciate your guidance. Thank you so much. You are the epitome of what it is to truly collaborate when it comes to leadership, and we truly value you. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to recognize the presence of His Majesty, the King of Toro. Once again, thank you so much. We're very, very pleased to have you here. Thank you so much to the Chief of Defense Staff also, and his beautiful wife for being here and joining us. And allow me to just stand on other existing protocols. The Minister of Labour, I see her, mother and sister to me. Uncle Ned, I call him Uncle Ned because I've known him since I was 3. So he's Uncle Ned Woko. Thank you so much, Uncle. Thank you for joining. Our dear friends, I must make mention of Halima and Zara and Bana. Thank you guys so much. Immediately I told them, they were so quick to come. Thank you. Now, Threads of Africa, I must say, is a fashion prize that we thought about as a way of elevating Africa and elevating the talk of African fashion. As most of you know, I love fashion. My love for fashion runs deep. But it's not just about the clothes, it's not just about the fabric or even the trends. I think fashion for me is about my identity, which is why I always wear Nigerian. Shout out to Tubo and Banke, who I consistently rep. It's about our identity, it's about our heritage, and it's about our stories. So when I envisioned the Threads of Africa Prize, I didn't just see an opportunity to do a competition. I actually wanted to create a platform, a movement for us to begin to reclaim the narrative about our fashion. And as African fashion has always been our language, they say French or Italian women are the most fashionable, but I dare say, look at an Ishekiri woman, okay? Thank you. All you need to do is go to an Owambe in Lagos and see how fashionable our women are. Or anywhere in Ghana. You know, African women are one of the most fashionable women in the world. Can we please give ourselves a round of applause? And fashion is the way that we've expressed who we are, where we come from, where we're going. Every thread, every stitch that we make carries the weight of our past, but also the dreams of our future. And yet, I've seen the world dismiss the beauty and the depth of African creativity.
Too often we've been defined by our narrow perspectives, like I shared in my speech yesterday, yet our brilliance is consistently reduced to fleeting trends, you know. One word that kept coming through in the convening was resilience. I think that was the one word that every speaker or every panel kept speaking to. We are a resilient people. Resilience, like our fashion, is woven into the very core of who we are. We don't just bend to trends, we create them, we lead them. And so I learned over time that it's not the loud and obvious battles that change the world, it's the quiet and persistent ones. Threads of Africa is one of those quiet and persistent ones. We're hoping that by elevating African fashion through this prize, that we will get fashion designers to begin to pave the way and take the stage truly on African fashion. We know that African fashion is already making some headlines. We're just contributing to the discussion. We're lending our voice to the discussion through the Threads of Africa prize. And so we're here. We've always been here. With every design, every piece of fabric, we're building the future. So Threads is my love gift to Africa. I welcome you to the first of many declarations of African fashion. I'm now going to hand over to Ugo Monye, who is going to explain the process through the last 4 weeks.
Good evening, everyone. His Royal Majesty Ogiami Atuashe III, Olori Atuashe III, thank you for having us. Allow me to stand on existing protocols. Threads of Africa has been a journey. It's been very interesting for me because I'm in fashion. I love fashion. That's what I breathe every day. And to be a part of this process has been very interesting because I have seen things that I've not seen before. I've seen designs. I've heard stories. It has taken me from one level to another level. You know, imagine knowing histories behind fabric, and this was shown to me through this competition. I mean, I was blown away by the designs that I saw. I was blown away by the techniques that I've been seeing. You know, clearly, this competition is paving the way for greater things. You know, imagine there's no better time to be African than now. If you know, fashion, if you understand what is going on out there right now, the whole world is looking at us. The entire world is looking at Africa because the West, if I may say, they've exhausted their ideas in terms of designs. So they're all looking at us. So there's a tsunami about to happen in the fashion industry. And Threads of Africa has just, kind of pivoted this movement. So now, all we are saying, get ready, get set, and see what's about to happen. We had over 520 submissions from designers representing the entire breadth of Africa. North, South, East, West, each region brought unique flares, a blend of modern trends, deep-rooted in traditional elements. I saw things and I was like, wow, am I still in, what is really going on? I'm like, you know what they say, I still learn, that kind of thing. And me, I thought I've done a lot, but I'm now inspired by what I saw from this process. The techniques I saw, the things I was seeing, the stories I was hearing that was tied to what they were doing was actually amazing. Selecting the winner was no small task for us. You can ask the judges. We went, imagine from 520 people, we're going narrowing down to the winner. It was a lot of work because it was sleepless nights for us, really. So I want to say thank you to the judges. You guys did an amazing job, And the African designers no longer just follow global trends. We are the ones setting the trend right now. We are the ones setting the trend. If you notice, they are all looking at us. We are the ones setting the trend. Threads of Africa, what they've done, this thing that they've done is such an amazing and is a spiritual thing because it has kickstarted something great in Africa. Imagine someone from nowhere given this opportunity and imagine what it will do to the person's life and Africa as a whole. So I want to appreciate Ogiami and Olori for this initiative. Thank you very much. And the best of Africa is yet to come. Thank you very much for having me.
Good evening, Your Royal Majesties, the Ogami of Atu Ase III, CFR, and Olori Atu Ase III. I'm going to stand on existing protocols, just like my Olori and my fellow judge. This evening, I'd like to announce the winner of the Maiden edition. It took a while for us to actually select a winner, but she stood out because her presentation was a perfect blend of not just innovation, but she went down to her community. She showed us processes. She showed us that she was ready to collaborate with other designers, and her work was completely outstanding. It was really, really remarkable. Just seeing her travel all the way back and even show us like different generations of people that she included in her process, and a lot of work that she had also done in herself. She had taken herself abroad, taught herself, and actually come back to Africa to invest in her hometown. I'd like to make welcome the winner of the Maiden edition, Adeola Adebisi of Adeola and Adeola Rehab.
Let's give her another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations.
Would you like to say something?
Oh my God, this is incredibly humbling. I am so grateful. I thank God, His Royal Highness, His Royal Majesty. Thank you so much, esteemed guests, judges. Thank you so much for this high honor. I can't believe this is happening. You know, I was on the verge of giving up, as I was just saying, and this happened. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful for helping me to help my artisans and believing in my dream, in my vision. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We elevate. I'm so grateful. Threads of Africa, thank you for this platform. It was amazing to find it. Thank you so much.
All right.
I just want to do something real quick. Adeola, like I said earlier, she is such an embodiment of what we celebrate in Elevate Africa. She actually, what was your category? Was it sustainable fashion? Sustainable fashion. Her brand takes old Ashoebi pieces and rehabilitates them into shoes, accessories that can now be reworn. So if anybody has any kind of Ashoebi that they are not using, please bring them to her and they become beautiful pieces. But she's just such an embodiment of what we celebrate and what we want to elevate, because she's African grown. She's right here in Nigeria doing it in where again? in Lagos, Nigeria, and she's helping her community. She's empowering her artisans. She's practicing best practices when it comes to recycling. She's just doing everything that absolutely embodies the spirit of Elevate Africa. So I just want to gift you, and in addition to the $5,000 that you're getting, we want to gift you with a global ambassadorship. We want to make you one of our global ambassadors for Elevate Africa. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. All right. And for the first runner-up,
Ogame Atuashe III, CFR, and the beautiful Olori Atuashe. Standing on all existing protocols, my name is Banke Kuku. I am a fashion and lifestyle designer based in Lagos, and I am so happy to be here today. Olori, thank you so much for this invitation. It has been an honor to be part of Elevate Africa, and as my fellow judges have told you, it was a rigorous process. We saw so many talents, and I am ecstatic to announce the first runner-up of this year's Threads Africa competition. So the first runner-up is very dear to my soul. She kind of reminds me of when I first started. I used to tell culture stories about Nigeria through my work, and she tells an incredible story about her community, the Ichos. So I'm going to welcome up here Tamitara Abaku.
Tamitara. Oh, wow.
You're blocking people from you.
Yes, I remember that fashion designer that moved from the city to her village because her fashion brand is centered around the use of indigenous cloth and sharing the history, sentimental, economical, spiritual values of the indigenous people. So she's basically sharing history through cloth. My name is Tamitara Tamnotoye Abaku. I'm from Okreka and I'm from Kogi State. This was only the beginning of my journey. And I will go from tribe to tribe. I will use their cloth and I will tell their story. And I will elevate Africa in my journey. Thank you so much for this encouragement.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we have our two winners come together? Please join her there. So the photographs, please. Let's capture the two of them together with their 20 entries. These are our top two picks. They deserve another round of applause.
Congratulations to both of you. We are incredibly proud of the story that you're telling about Africa. Please keep it up, and we wish you all the very best. Congratulations. One more time, please give them a round of applause. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Royal Majesty and Her Royal Highness, the Ogiame Atuashe, the third CFR, and the Olori Atuashe, the third, our leading judge. And thank you, and I stand on all existing protocols, including greeting the Rukiraba Saija from Uganda. Since I'm half Ugandan and half South African. Honoring all existing protocols, my name is Businje Matsiko Anden. People call me Busi. And I'm honored to be announcing the second runner-up, our very talented Philip Opong Antwi, founder of Phil Kwase, all the way from Accra, Ghana. While we look forward to having him today, he unfortunately couldn't be here, but sends his shares his heartfelt gratitude to Her Majesty. I'm so honored to be here, seeing this amazing talent, especially as someone who promoted emerging designers since 2006 and founded one of the first fashion technology companies. It's important we share and promote these emerging designers and also the existing ones in every single possible way you can, whether it's economic, whether it's pouring funds into them, whether it's giving them access. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all our distinguished judges, ably led by the Olori Atuwashe III. Please give them a resounding round of applause as they exit the stage. Thank you so much. Thank you for the great work that you did in selecting these top 2 designers who have emerged, our champions tonight. And we do hope that through Threads of Africa, by one thread after another thread, we may and continue to elevate Africa indeed. Congratulations to all the winners. We wish you all the best.
All right, do it one more time. Put your hands together for our winners and of course our judges as well. All right, quickly, we would like to do some very quick recognitions, very quick, ladies and gentlemen, and in no particular order. Let's put our hand on Umbo Rhodes, the founder of Arua Capital Management. Thank you. These are supporters of this initiative. Also, we have representatives from AgroKnor International and Fastizas Food and Confectionery. Yes, applause. Sumi Smart Francis, President of Africa Young Entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us. We also have present here Senator Ekpe Young Asukwo. And, oh, he's right here. Dr. Julius Rone, OFRO, GMD, UTM, FLNG Limited. Please, let's put our hands together for all these friends of the house. Allow me to quickly also recognize someone who I consider one of the most humble billionaires in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, we were on the same flight today and I wasn't sure if she was the one because she was flying alone. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairperson of Access Bank. Please, let's put our hands together for Mrs. the immediate past chairperson. In my mind, you are still the chairperson. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Awoshika. Ladies and gentlemen, I was sitting like 2 seats behind me and I was hearing her on the phone. And Mrs. Awoshika said, yes, I spoke to Bill Gates. I will call him again. I shocked. Mama, I felt like stealing your phone. Just casually, just like that. All right. It's been a beautiful evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, Bobby. And at this point, we do have a special assignment. And I will start. In 1480 AD, Prince Ginua, the son of Oba Olua, set sail in a red boat with the sons of 70 Bini chiefs in his entourage. The purpose of the visit was for the prince to establish his own kingdom while retaining boat has gone on to become the traditional transport vehicle of Ogiame on august occasions like coronation ceremonies and coronation anniversaries. The red boat is still used by the Olu of Warri. It signifies the presence of the great Olu of Warri.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please, can we suspend everything we're doing and put our hands together in resounding fashion for our host, His Royal Majesty, Ogiame Atuwashe III, CFR, the 21st Olu of Warri. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes on stage.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Let me begin, first of all, by, I guess, establishing my own protocol. Ladies first. My darling wife, Gloria Atuashi III, the brains and the beauty of everything you see here today. The former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan. Thank you for your presence, ma'am. The First Lady of Kwara State. I have taken a liking to the First Lady. She said yesterday that she has earned her titles. It took her 30 years to become an ambassador. This evening, all the way from Uganda, His Majesty King Oyo, Rukiya IV of Toro Kingdom, thank you for being here. His Majesty, my brother DEIN of Agbor, yours was a shorter journey, but still an important one. Thank you. Our gallant Chief of Defense Staff, General Chris Babin Musa, thank you for honoring us with your presence and your wife this evening. Thank you. Federal Ministers here present, and I am a grassroots person, so I'm going to acknowledge my grassroots leaders, the chairmen of Warri North and Warri South local government. Thank you for supporting us here tonight. All our speakers at Elevate Africa over the last couple of days, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, actually I made a note here. Where is Bovi? He's on the phone. Yeah, Bovi, come. You are going to repeat something. You mentioned two of my subjects and you forgot to add the most recent honor I gave them. Elevate Africa, that also applies to you. You acknowledge the presence of Dere Awushika and you only put OFR, MNI, and I was looking, where is ROI? And then Bovi, you come and you did not mention it. You mentioned Julius Rone and you neglected to add ROI. So you will do it again. And also Samamuka Pemu is here, ROI. All right, well I guess his name never came up. But Samamuka Pemu, ROI. You are welcome. So Bovi, once again, for Julius and Derry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get a second chance this often. Please, can we put our hands together for Dr. Julius Rone, ROI. All right. Dr. Julius Rone, OFR, ROI, my best friend. And of course, please, one of our, like I said, one of our favorites, immediate past chairperson of Access Bank, please give it up for Mrs. Awoshika ROI. Your Majesty, you do know you have an accent, so I know they hear the O. Alright.
Thank you, Buddha.
Dr. Awoshika ROI.
All right, that is, we do not give honors in vain, so it must be acknowledged. We thank God for this successful inauguration of Elevate Africa, and specifically subtitled The Africa We See. Images control and determine perception. And I want to start on a military note, and I'm very glad that our Chief of Defense Staff is here. I know a couple of days ago, there was a Nigerian officer that was honored in the UK. I don't know if it was Sandhurst. It was Sandhurst. Now, the reason why I want to start on that note, when we talk about perception, when you read Nigerian history, you hear initially all our officers were training at Sandhurst, and they all came out as very distinguished officers and gentlemen. And obviously, as time passed, I don't know if it was an issue of funding. Our officers were being sent to India, Pakistan, and other places, and you could tell the difference. So I was very glad to hear that not only are our officers going back to Sandhurst, but this young officer excelled, and he was the most distinguished officer, from officers coming from all over the globe. A Nigerian officer was singled out for distinction. And I said to myself, this is clearly what we want to see coming out, not just from Nigeria, but from Africa. And the second point, because when I started making my notes, it was, the first point actually was something I saw a few, and that was one of the most precise, organized, beautifully coordinated military marches I have ever seen. And they mixed it not just with the typical military fashion, but there was a bit of some cultural appropriation into it. It was truly beautiful. One of those moments where I have been proud to be a Nigerian, and this was now our military making us proud. So salutations to our military for also being stellar and exemplary Africans. As Africans, we all have a collective role to play in elevating the image and the perception of this continent. I have spoken about it a few times, and others have spoken about it several times, about the shape of this continent, which is like that of a gun. And a gun has different parts. And like the human body, we all have different parts. And God has designed it so. We are all to identify our parts and stick to it. The trigger cannot be competing with the barrel, with the handle. The brain cannot be contending to do what the heart does, what the leg does. Everybody should identify that this is the role that we are going to play collectively to make the whole be great. God has created Africa and naturally bestowed roles for the different peoples on this continent. At our quiet dinner last night, I mentioned that it is of note, or it's interesting to note, that when God was creating this continent, He put several rivers in this continent, but 7 great rivers. 7 great and mighty rivers, of which 2 of them are in this country, Nigeria. Fusing, the lesser one, Benue, fuses into the Niger. And every time I think about how these rivers beautifully intersect here in Nigeria, what comes to mind is that singular portion in the Bible. And even though it was written in reference to Ethiopia, I always feel it is applicable to Nigeria. And I am paraphrasing. Go you swift messengers to a nation tall and smooth of skin, a nation mighty and conquering, whose land the 2 rivers divide. In chapter 18 of his book, Isaiah wrote this 5,000 years ago. And I find in God's word, it can be applied several times and have many different meanings depending on how your eye is open to see what is in there. God's word for Africa has already gone out, and it is for us to open our eyes and to see the first signs, interpret them correctly, so that our identity and purpose is well informed and we're able to walk in that direction. Now, for some humor. A little over a decade ago, the world was
announcing, it was all over the covers of magazines and headlines, this is the time for Africa, the time is now, this is Africa's time. It was all over the world. And the whole world was watching Africa to see, is Africa going to respond and step up to this schedule that the West had put for Africa? What these non-Africans failed to see, since we are all here to receive sight, was that they did not factor in African time. All the Owambe weddings that these non-Africans have been to, you would think that they have learned about the timing of Africans. But eventually, when we show up and we are organized, the force, the power, the presence, the depths of Africa are felt. Let me use this opportunity to say that we indeed should really do better. We really should do better as Africans with our timing, and we will. That's another conversation for another day. But since Dr. Fela Dorotoye mentioned it today, he took the words out of my own mouth. I'm hereby using my authority to redefine the concept of African time as simple and punctual. You are welcome. To our ambassadors, I had told Davido when he came to Warri over the weekend that known or unknown to them, that is him and his colleagues, his peers, our musicians and artists, they are following a heavy and potent pattern. This is the pattern where they serve as our forerunners, heralding the coming of the true African rising that is beyond entertainment. Because that's not a concept that must be corrected. Yes, indeed, God has endowed the black man with an unfathomable ability to dominate the arenas of sports and entertainment. And we will continue to dominate those arenas, by the way. Because once the proverbial ball or microphone is put in the hands of a black man early enough, and he submits his God-given talent in humility to discipline, the game is over before it even begins. But as great as these our heralds are, it's just like the way people respond to angels, and they are in awe, because the world is in awe of these our heralds. Imagine what the response of the world would be when the real substance in all its complexity arrives. And I announce to you today that it has arrived. What are we going to do different this time? We will have to elevate and empower our women. God has given them tremendous birthing power. As African men, we need not only to tap into the creativity and birthing power of our women, but we should encourage it, support it, and elevate it. You give a woman a seed, an idea, a concept, whatever it is you give to her, she will incubate, nourish, and give it life. As I said earlier, all you have seen here since yesterday has come as a result of this man giving room, resources, and inspiration to this beautiful woman. The last couple of days is the end result. My darling, I bless you with the ability and capacity to be and do more. Continue to be fruitful and multiply. And I bless all of you in this gathering with the same. May there be a positive ripple effect across the continent. Throughout the session, we've spoken a lot about the connectivity of this continent and the challenges. And my friend, His Majesty from Toro Kingdom, I invited him here, and I made an assumption in my mind that he was just going to simply get on the plane in Entebbe and fly directly to Lagos in 4 hours. And then we would fly him from Lagos to Warri in 35 minutes. He ended up embarking on an Israelite journey, having to fly to Kenya, and then to Kigali, and then to Lagos, and then to Warri. If I had known that was the path he was going to travel, I would have hesitated to ask him to come. But I'm glad he came. And I believe he has judged it worthy of his own royal effort. However, I think that he didn't just decide to hide behind the stressful nature of the journey and give an excuse to say he couldn't make it. From one king to another, I believe that what has happened here with him symbolically making that journey also begins to bridge the divide on this continent. He's coming here from where the largest river on this continent is birthed, in Uganda in East Africa. And he has come to where I came in here thinking was the second largest river in Africa. And as God would have it, the fun fact that was placed on my spot, that the Niger is the third largest river in Africa. So clearly God was looking out for me so that I didn't come here and make a mistake. He has come to the home of the third largest river in Africa, where it empties into the Atlantic Ocean in the Niger Delta. Why is this symbolic? It has been noted that one of the things that has plagued Africa from truly developing the way Europe and America has is that for all the great rivers that we have, they are not easily navigable as the other rivers in Europe and America. And that has really limited inter-African trade and movement. But still, God has blessed this continent, even to a point where it makes things too easy for us. And at this point, I want to use an analogy. For those of you who may know me, I am a big basketball fan. And I think one of the greatest duos in basketball, for those who may know, famous names, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe Bryant, probably one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game, was so frustrated at Shaquille O'Neal. Why? Because Shaq felt he was so big, he did not have to jump, he did not have to put in so much effort, because just his presence, little moves here and there, nobody could contain him. And he did well for putting in the little effort that he did. But Kobe kept telling him, if you would just jump a little bit, if you would just run a little bit, if you would develop your free throws, your shooting, you would be the greatest ever to do it. And Africa is like Shaquille O'Neal. We are just endowed and blessed. And with little effort, we achieve quite a bit. But it is time for us to get down and face the fundamentals so that we can truly blow the world away. But things are a lot more competitive in the world today, still on my basketball analogy, because you now have Wemby. For those of you who still follow basketball, he's not doing what Shaquille O'Neal was doing. Long guy, he's running, he's dribbling, he is shooting, and truly nobody can contain him. Africa needs to pay attention. We also need to package our past properly. There has been so much cultural appropriation of African history and African culture, and there has also been a deliberate misappropriation of the same. It's not only our artifacts that have been looted by the rest of the world, but our ideas and our concepts have been taken by the world and presented back to us as their own. The Western ideology boasts so much in its roots in ancient Greece. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, a lot of enlightenment in Greece came from Africa. It came from Egypt. The play on words of Europe being in the Dark Ages, I dare say, was a time when Europe was dominated by men of dark color. Which is why, interestingly enough, for a people that kept accurate records before the Dark Ages, the records are silent until they come out of the Dark Ages. But I will not say any more than that. But back to my point. As the 21st monarch of my people, we did not have any physical representation of our first 16 monarchs. They existed only in name. I felt an overwhelming need to go back into the past and create an identity for them. A persona, a logo, which was what I came up with. And it's similar in a sense to what Christ did on the cross, going back to restore and redeem those that had fallen and slept before him and lead them on into glory. And now, by the grace and direction of God, we are leading our people into a greater glory. As we said on the coronation day, we will inspire and collaborate with all Africans to do the same. And I charge all of you to do the same in all your spheres of influence and your calling. The Africa we see without the eyes, the famous saying goes, which are the windows to the soul, we see nothing, or we do not see correctly. I have been seeing again another biblical example, this time in the image of the biblical Samson, as the strong black African man who intimidated and made everyone uncomfortable. They could not deny his strength and greatness, and they came up with a scheme to subjugate him by taking out his eyes. Africa, our eyes have long been taken out, and they have dictated to us what we see and how we see, while they have kept Africa under their exploitation and amusement and entertainment. But no more. It is time for us to start over, and we do not necessarily have to pull the house down as Samson did, but we must get our lens and our eyesight correct as we take over the narrative and direction of the conversation. As we say in Wari, we dey shine our eyes. I want to give a mental illustration which I feel will help us when we want to imagine the way going forward. Because when we leave here today, the old mindsets and sentiments will confront us as we want to move forward. So I want to give you a fundamental block to inspire a mentality of abundance and replenishment that recycles and rejuvenates. Because it is the mentality of lack that makes us to be so quick to try to pull down, even when people are giving us good ideas. And so, not only do I consider myself an elegant ambassador of Africa, I consider myself a dispenser of blessings to Africa. I choose to inspire based on my God-given identity. And so I have become a proud walking billboard of African attires and apparels. Everything flows from identity. I honor my ancestors, but I do not worship them. I only worship the Almighty God. The same God who created this world and my ancestors themselves. However, there are times you can say one feels the presence or the inspiration of my forebears, the authority that they have held on this throne, which God has given to me now and has placed his stamp on it. So sometimes it feels not just triple filtered, but filtered 21 times. God has made me king, and specifically, literally, king of water. So I want to bless you all with the image of water. An ocean, not a river. Because it is important that when we are giving analogies and justifications that may want to throw us off, we need to see ourselves as water that is constantly replenished. The water cycle. God has blessed us such that there is more than enough when we see ourselves as water. Nobody can go to the ocean with buckets and say you want to steal from the ocean. The ocean will not notice that you have taken water from it. And so I want to bless all of you here with that mindset, because I hear a lot, but the bread is not enough. The rice is not enough. Everybody thinks it will finish. And because they think the ideas or the resources will finish, everybody wants to rush and grab. But always think about water, and it will replenish and rejuvenate itself. I must also speak to the timing of this Elevate Africa, because it is happening at a time when Nigeria is going through quite a bit of challenges. Some may think, oh, we could have spent our money better. We could have done empowerment. We could have done something that translates directly to grassroots and all of that. But this revelation, this elevation is happening when we are at rock bottom. Like Isaac, who was digging wells during a time of famine, that this is being drilled and instilled during this time and is successfully birthed and established today. It shows that this is something deeply rooted, and it will outlive all of us, and we shall all be mentally transformed. And so, in conclusion, I want to refer to the quote by Steve Jobs. He said, "The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller." Stories inform who we are and how we see ourselves, from top to bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not rhetorical. Do you want to hear a story? Are you sure? All right. Alrighty. Listen carefully. It's a story of my lineage, and it is meant to inspire all of you and inspire the African mindset. My lineage originally goes as far back as Ogiso, which is the sky element. Then that of Yoruba, which is the earth element. And then that of Ogiame, which is the water element. I am no scientist, but I think these are the three key elements in life. Iwere land, Warri Kingdom, where Ogiame reigns under God. A powerful geolocation where the trinity of sky, soil, and sea converge. A potent trigger point for this great and mighty continent. And God had all that in mind when he was designing this particular Ogiame. The title and authority God has given me, and this is me teasing, Americans will say I'm being hilarious, but it's not funny. The water in every human being will respond to me. It's just a double portion when it is an Ishekiri individual, because in their case, the blood and the water in them will respond to me. And I want to conclude this point by once again referring to God's word, which interestingly, Fela Dorotoye had asked a question earlier today. In the book of Proverbs 25 verse 2, it is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. And in true dramatic fashion, because God knows his African children very well, he has decided to use a literal king to search this one out. The time is now. The day is here. God's DNA is in us. That same creative power of spoken word, which he used to create the world, is in us. He also tells us that the power of life and death is in the tongue. On a third and final note, he has told us that where the word of a king is, there is power. And on this tripartite foundation, I want to bring everyone in this room into alignment with God's word and the authority that he has given me. We birth a new Africa, renewing this physical continent. We bless the African man on the mother continent and all over the world with new lenses, with new insight, with new innovation, and with solutions. God's word over this continent has long been waiting, and now this king has spoken. Tonight, we bury the parts of the old that no longer serve us nor our vision well in this time. And in its place, we embrace the new, and we receive it with gladness, with gratitude, and with thanksgiving. I bless all of you with capacity. And the reason I specifically bless all of you with capacity, especially us as Nigerians, I think right now we are generating, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 10,000 megawatts. If God just gives us 100,000 megawatts, the grid will collapse. So before God blesses us with the ability to change this world, I first of all bless all of you with the capacity to receive it well, so you can be effective transformers from this continent. And so I bless you with the spiritual, mental, intellectual ability, capacity, and infrastructure to truly elevate the people and continent of Africa. Africa, be fruitful and prosper. God bless you all.
God bless Africa indeed. Africa will indeed be fruitful and multiply. God bless Africa. Please give a resounding round of applause to the 21st Olu of Warri Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Ogiame Atuwashe III, CFR. Thank you very much for your charge. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your words this evening.
Yes, thank you very much. That was a very powerful one. Very powerful, and of course we would never forget that. I personally learned a lot from it.
Guests expect in a few minutes.
Well, you know, the night cannot be complete without some entertainment, without quality entertainment. One of Nigeria's finest musical acts of all time.
She's an entertainer.
She's an entertainer.
Continues to elevate Africa through her music.
Absolutely.
She's a global talent, but out of Africa.
Yeah.
Before she comes, we have to take the vote of thanks tonight. And it's our pleasure to make welcome on stage an official member of the Forbes Coaches Council, Dr. Akin Akekpelu. Please give me a resounding applause as he comes off stage to deliver the official vote of thanks, and then we'll go into the entertainment.
All right.
Atuwashe III, we want to specially thank you for the platform of Elevate Africa. We want you to know that you are very special to Africa, and you are very significant. On behalf of the team of the Elevate Africa team, it's my privilege to stand before you and express our deepest gratitude. This convening has been an extraordinary testament to the strength, the vision, the leadership that exists within our beloved continent. Thank you to all our distinguished speakers, panelists, moderators. We are incredibly grateful for your time, expertise, and thought-provoking discussions that you have led. You have helped lay the foundation for future change and collaboration across Africa. A big thank you to everyone that made this happen, and the organizing team, the volunteers, and everyone working behind the scenes. Your hard work and dedication have ensured the success of this event, and we are immensely thankful. Lastly, to all our attendees, your participation and engagement brings life to this movement. We hope you leave here inspired and empowered to continue making a difference. Just on your table, we have a little paper that has Elevate Africa on it. We would like you to put your details and your commitment to Elevate Africa. Just like Senator Ned said, that he would like to be part of it. There's a table right in front of you that you can just put your details and everything you would like to support Elevate Africa with. We'd like you to do that very quickly for us before we get this place shaken with one of Africa's finest musicians. Thank you once again, and may we continue to unite in the spirit of progress and innovation for the future of Africa. We look forward to continuing the conversations online. Kindly download the app. You will see a lot through our fellowship programs and everything that we are doing via the media. We look forward to those great times. Once again, good night and safe travels. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right.
Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Teddy, the entertainer. Please don't go anywhere. This is the party and we've all been waiting for this moment. Let's enjoy, let down our heads.
I won't go miss you, where you? I won't go miss you, where you? You say again, super power. I won't go meet you where you say. I'm not bad, oh no, I won't go meet you where you say. I'm Cinderella, maybe Superman, oh baby. I won't go meet you where you say. Now you deserve it, oh. Now you be so neat, oh baby, yeah. I won't go meet you where you say. 24 now, to be mama, le 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 le. If mama no love you like me, le 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 le. They all love, to be they all love, le le le. They all love, no love you like me. Baby, see your leg out. Body me see pretty girl. Wah 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 wah. My head get on yo. Power down for my head, yo. Oh na 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 na. Ya mama, ya papa. Show me, tell me, show me where them dey. Oh 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 oh. And ya brother, le 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 le. I go come meet you. Ya 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 yo. Oh oh. Le 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 le. Oh my God, baby. Oh my Rabana, you. Crappy mountains, but nothing is too small, and nothing is too. We are mayor, we are mayor. Ori ori mi jawa, ori lana gomino, ori me matu, ori we are mayor. Yeah. We are mayor.
But we go
Come on. Let's step back. Step back.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Again. Go. These guys they have to go out. Go out. Might be fast. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Get a very good thing on the Kingdom Road.
See where you live last. Sorry. Get nice. It's a history picture. Papa, just a minute, sir.
Your Majesty,
just a minute. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Papa, 1 minute. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, just step back. Step back so that I can get the two chips. Okay. Uncle T. Yeah, I'm seeing your hand. I'm seeing your hand so that I can get
in September. Please, so close to my daughter's birthday, but I will make it. Okay. The Majesty, yes.
Please let me have that picture.
Yeah, he's married to one of your daughters. So,
Do they? It's